Morning.
Morning.
How's everybody today?
Good.
Good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. So I have a couple things here. I'm going to ask you who uses these kinds of things.
Oh.
Stapler?
Yeah, I use a stapler.
You use a stapler. Marcus? What about your teachers in school? Yep. Did you have a question, Marcus? No? Do you have a question, Seth?
My family.
Your family? Sean?
So Seth did use a stapler kind of for his book.
Okay. So lots of people use staplers. But I know that we use them at school, right? The teachers staple things together. Teachers also use rulers, right, to measure things. We use those in school. Paper clips to clip papers together, right? And stars, like you get stars on your papers at school. So those are some things I wanted to show you that teachers use. Now, if you're in school, let's pretend you don't understand something going on that the teacher is teaching. What would you do? Elias?
Raise your hand and ask the question.
Raise your hand and ask the question. Does the teacher ever get mad at you for asking a question?
No, unless if you
Unless you have a really mean teacher.
Yeah, I think that our teachers are here to help us, right? So they don't get mad. They want you to ask questions so they can help you understand what they're teaching. So I'm telling you this because in today's story, you know how Jesus has all his disciples? Well, he has two disciples that ask him a question. They ask if he can be their favorite, if they can be his favorite. They want to be the two favorite disciples. Did you have a question, Sean?
What is disciples?
The disciples are the people that followed Jesus and helped teach others about Jesus' ways. He had 12 of them. Yeah, we've talked about them a few times in Sunday school. Seth?
What are the 12 ways called?
What? Say it again.
What are the 12 ways called?
The 12 ways? You mean the 10 Commandments?
Yeah.
We played that game last week. I don't have it this week, but I can bring it back and we'll talk about that again, okay? So the teachers, to help you understand, Jesus had his 12 students, let's call them students, okay? And two of them, James and John, said they wanted to ask him a question. They wanted to know if they could be the very favorite students of all. So do you think Jesus got mad at them asking that? No. Do you think the other disciples kind of felt a little bit irritated that they asked that?
Yes.
Yeah, because they're like, why are you asking that, you know? So Jesus didn't get mad. He said it's okay to ask questions. But he says, I can't answer that question as to who the favorites are. He says, there are really no favorites. So as being a teacher in school, we're going to go back to that. I want to tell you a little story about when I was in school. I was in 5th grade, and I really liked being the teacher's helper. I liked taking papers to the office. I liked erasing the board when it needed erasing. I liked doing special jobs because it made me feel good to be special. And one day I went to the teacher. We had just been doing math, and I finished my paper before everybody else, so I went over to her and I said, what can I do? What can I do? And she said, I'm helping another student right now, so this isn't a good time to ask me what you can do. So I started to go back to my seat, and she called my name and she said, wait a minute, there is something you can do. You can help a friend that is having trouble understanding. That's when I realized, oh, it's not about her needing a special helper. It's about she was a helper. The teacher was the helper. And that's what she wanted me to be, somebody that helped others, not to just be a special helper to her. Kind of like Jesus with his disciples. He didn't want two of them to just be special. He wants them to be like he was, where he could go help a lot of other people, and they would help other people like he does too. Did you have a question, Sean? Yes?
Me and Ellie, you've been in our class.
Yes, I have been in your classes helping you at school. You're right.
You were in my class in kindergarten.
Yep.
Mrs. Gummo's class.
That's right, I was. So when we're in school, your teacher is to be a helper, to help you learn, just like Jesus is a teacher to help us learn the right ways and the correct ways to be. It's not about being a favorite or being the most important or the special helper. It's about learning what Jesus taught us to be a helper to others. Like if you see someone in need that needs help with that maybe you understand in school that they don't understand, or if you see someone that might need help raking their lawn, or there's all kinds of ways we can help others. It's not about being more important or more special than anyone. It's about being a helper and a servant like Jesus was to us. And that's how we learn. He wants us to think of others. So let's say a prayer. Dear God, your son Jesus was sent as a good example.
Your son Jesus was sent as a good example.
Help us to find ways to help others. And all God's children say,
Amen.
Amen. Okay.